Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is where you are and when you're watching. My name is Connor. I am part of the Not Another team, which is where we are now. We're at Not Another HQ, and this is my co-host Norman Bolton.
Hello, I'm Norman Bolton, that's me, and today we are here to tell you how to colour an imperfect base.
With Crazy Colour, you can use it on pre-bleached hair or you can also use it on natural hair. However, when you use it on natural hair, there's only a few select shades that will work because generally people's natural hair isn't very light, which means that it sometimes does take a bleach to get them kind of where they want to be.
So when you're working with the shade chart, just always be conscious is that this is over white hair before you've even started. One of the points that we wanted to make really clear about working with your canvas is whatever the colour of the hair that you're working with, it's always going to be the undertone of what the Crazy Colour sits over the top. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so what you have to remember is whatever your target shade is, so that's what's in the bowl, you also have to put that with your undertone, so what the hair is. So say you're doing someone that's blue and they've got a lot of yellow in the hair, you put that blue on top of yellow and it's gonna end up going a little bit more green because you've got your target shade plus your undercoat equals your end result.
It's like, that was beautifully said, by the way.
Thank you so much.
It's so clever.
So when it comes to working with Crazy Colours, it's super important to know what shade sits over what depth. So the shade being, I don't know, pinkissimo, and the depth being, it needs to sit on a level 9 or 10, I would say. And if you use something that's not exactly compatible, you won't get your desired result. If you try and use a pinkissimo on a base 6, it's just not going to show because it's not compatible.
The whole video is about how to colour an imperfect base, so let's talk a little bit about the techniques that work for us, shall we?
Let's go. So I'm going to give you a scenario that would happen in salon. So your client has come in and they've got loads of different bands. They've got some orange bits, they've got some yellow bits, they've got some whiter bits. Now, what you need to know is what colour sits over what depth. So for example, this particular client, she wants to go pastel pink. So you pop a pastel pink all over from roots to tips. That colour is only going to show up properly on the hair that is blonde enough, so those whiter areas or almost white areas. What you need to do is use something that is stronger, that is going to cover from the darkest patch of the hair all the way through to the lightest patch of the hair. And that is going to give you the most consistent result.
Picture this, right? You've just bleached up someone's whole head. It's a colour correction. Perhaps they've got previous tint on their hair and it's patchy as hell. It's more bands than Glastonbury. Love that one. A situation that could work well to get a beautiful result is you could do a gradient or an ombre technique. So you could blend one colour into the other to create a consistent or a smoother effect in the hair. Make sure that you watch our video about blending to find out what are the best shades that we recommend to get the best ombre effects.
A good lesson that I learned was, if in doubt, strand test it out. So what you want to do is find the patchiest bit of hair that you can on this particular client's head. And you're going to apply your target shade. And what you're doing is pop it on, let it sit for the recommended development time, which is between 15 and 30 minutes. Then you're going to pull the colour off, give it a quick rinse or a spritz down, and you're going to blow dry it. And you're going to see if that shade that you've chosen has covered over all those different bands.
By strand testing, you get to see what the colour looks like before you commit to the end result. And also clients love a strand test as well because it keeps them super involved and they actually get a visual of what the colour will look like before you commit to putting it all over.
Another great benefit of Crazy Colour is you can use it to pre-tone. So a great example of this would be you've lightened someone's hair to about a level 9, it's quite yellow, and the shade that you're using requires no yellow in the hair or very little. So what I've got here is, this is warm water and this is mixed with 1 pump of purple power, which are the pigments, they're like ink, with half a pump of pink power as well. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna take this yellow hair and it's gonna mute it right down to more of this result.
Wow.
So this is a lot cooler. So a good example of what you could put over this would be something blue. If you pop the blue over this more yellowy one, there is a chance you'll get a more tealy, aquamarine, a bit green in there. But if you pop it over this one, that's a lot cooler, you will get your true blue result.
So we have got my favourite tool in my colorist toolbox. This is Cyclamen. So this is our most ordered colour in Not Another Salon's history. We get through thousands of bottles in a year. I'm just gonna throw that one out there. Literally, I love it. The reason why we love Cyclamen so much is because it can turn an imperfect base into a beautiful result. It covers up to a level 5, up to a 10. If it's on a level 4 or below, there's just not enough lightness in the hair to actually see like a reflect in there. If you put it over the top of someone who is a level 5, you're gonna have a more purpley reflect because it's a deeper base that you're working with. From a 6 up to a 10, you start to see more and more lightness in there and you will see more of a brighter pink result. If you put a Cyclamen over the top of someone who is a level 10, remember it's that white wall, you will get that very bright neon magenta pink. If you put it on someone who's more of a 7, more of the orange in the hair, that yellow orange undercoat, you will have more of a magenta,
raspberry
yeah,
kind of pink.
Super punchy. So say if someone like, the most common example I can think of is like a black box dye. You know, when you bleach it out and it's like patchy as hell, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many bands that are in there, you can put Cyclamen over the top of an imperfect base and it, honestly, it just saves you out of so many bloody disasters, you know? And clients love it. Fades out of the hair beautifully. The longevity is so nice with this one, you know. We never know how long these colours last for because every head of hair is totally different, but you know that you can get a good longevity out of this one.
It's very, very easy to remove. So you can use back to base or you can reach for the bleach if you need it. It comes out of the hair super easy, super beautifully. So if someone wants to try this colour for the first time and they want that really, really bright result, you know that next time if they come in and they want it back to whatever it was before, you can remove it nice and easily.
Cyclamen, guys, you want to grab this one.
It's a winner.
So we are going to put Cyclamen over this level 9. It's got a bit of yellow in there. And then you're going to see what it looks like.
This is Cyclamen over a level 9 pre-lightened base. And as you can see, it's pretty punchy, it's pretty pink, and it definitely packs a punch. And look how shiny it is. So sometimes you do get those people whose bases are just too imperfect and you can't get an even result. And that's okay, it's absolutely fine. I feel like there's so much pressure on colorists these days, thank you to social media platforms, that there is this pressure that everything has to be absolutely perfect. The thing is, there are times that it's not, and that's absolutely fine, like I've said. As long as you're telling your client that it might not be perfect. They usually understand. We find a lot of the time in here, if we've got to tell someone that, you know, your colour will be as bang on as it can possibly get, but there might be a few inconsistencies and a few different shades here and there. Generally, they're okay with it because you've told them. What they don't like is the surprise. I did an Instagram live a good couple of months back now, and it was how to colour an imperfect base. And it was one of my really good clients, Naomi, and she is a chameleon client, which means she likes to switch up her colour all the time.
You know those ones.
Yeah, it's really fun, but it can get hard. It can kind of back you into corners that you don't know what to do. So her hair had faded blue, blonde, and silver, and a little bit lilac, and she wanted to get as perfect all over violet as possible. So what I did is I used something that was more purple on the hair that had faded more silver and more blonde, and then I used something more pink on the hair that had faded more blue, because when you put pink on top of blue, you get purple. And it actually came out really, really beautifully even. I did pre-warn her that she might not get perfect result. It wasn't 100% because I've given her that expectation.
It's an imperfect base.
It's an imperfect base. However, it was pretty bang on. I was super happy with it and she absolutely loved it. Just remember, it's totally normal that you're going to get imperfect bases coming in. Like we said, cyclamen is a lifesaver if your client is open to going super bright pink and a bit more purpley kind of vibes. But just remember as well, sometimes you can't get it perfect, and that is okay. As long as you've tried your best and as long as your client is happy and you've set that expectation for that client, you're onto a winner.
Yeah, it's just all about managing the expectations from the start. Managing expectations is my forte. Thank you so much for watching.